What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Thank you so much for tuning in. It's me, Mikey Pipes. Today is Monday, March 11th, 2024, and we are in Winter Garden. We're doing our inaugural, first ever residential service call here in Winter Garden, Florida, for Pipe Doctor Home Services of Central Florida. If you are in the Orlando, Central Florida region, and you're looking for a plumbing or HVAC contractor for any residential or commercial need, give me a call, 407-375-1100. Let's get going.
Morning.
Good morning.
How you guys doing?
You're expecting us, yes?
Yes.
Excellent. We're at the right house.
Yes, indeed. This was the plumbing by Tom?
Yes.
Oh, perfect.
We're doing the air conditioning maintenance and tune-up for you.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much. Yeah, come on in.
Thank you very much.
Sorry, this house is just now waking up, so.
All good. Early bird catches the worm.
Yeah, it's true. Our work starts this evening. I don't go to work till 6 p.m. So it's a little later in the evening. But
Sorry.
welcome, yeah.
Could you show us what a thermostat is?
Sure, we have
And,
two. We have this one here.
Okay.
We've got the one upstairs. I'll show you. So here's the unit here.
Perfect. Another Honeywell. Perfect. Okay. And where is damper here? And
Inside the closet.
not bad. The float switch. 20 by 20 by 1. That's interesting. The 2-zone panel is in the laundry room. How clean the filter you think it is? Yeah? When's the last time you think they changed this filter?
Last month.
Let me see, did I write the date on it? No. Sir? When's the last time you changed the filter?
Maybe a couple months.
Couple months?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll put a new one in for you. Have 4 of them here. Try to get into a habit of checking it every 30 days. Remember this. The number one reason for compressor failure, and the compressor is the most expensive part of your system, is dirty filters. The way it works, if you're wondering, is when you have a dirty filter, you restrict airflow. So the air can't go across the system like it normally would. So the coil, or that like car radiator part of the system, which is supposed to take the heat out of the house and make it cold, right, doesn't get enough air going across it. It's going to work its way back to the compressor. Compressor freezes up, burns out, believe it or not.
Hopefully we're not at
No.
that.
No. Every 30 days. All right, let's lower this down. So let's do the 62, and then we'll kill the power outside. All right, ladies and gentlemen, heading out to the outdoor unit. Gotta love this beautiful Florida crabgrass. Here's that carrier unit. A little close to the house. Wow, just about a fist distance apart. And they put the locking caps on them. Look at that. They got the locking caps on that mother effer. Oh man, of course, the locking caps. All right, so I'm gonna put our tools off to the side a little bit. Right there. Got the Vito Pro Pack, the TP XL. Got all our good stuff that we need in there. And if you're wondering why it looks brand new, because it is. Let's take a look what kind of system we got here. We have a 48 in that model number right there. That means we have a 4-ton system for this whole house. You know, interesting little bad boy here. Look what they did there. They have a flared connection on the 3/8, but it looks like a brazed joint on the 3/4. Sorry, 7/8. Bolted down, screwed down, hurricane straps. We have a clean out there. Not too shabby. All right, let's take a look under the hood. All right, so I have the electrical access panel removed. We're gonna take this opportunity to dynamically test our dual capacitor. Our dual capacitor is rated for 70 over 7.5. We're gonna use the HVAC Tech School app to dynamically test our capacitance on the compressor, which is the Herm, and the fan of this dual cap. So right now we have one lead on common, the other lead on Herm, and we have 349 volts. Next we're going to test for amperage on that blue wire, and we have 9.3. All right, so our dual capacitor tests fine. We're going to kill some power right now. The proper way to kill power is you're going to take your left hand behind your back and you use your right hand to pull that thing out of there. Just like that, ladies and gentlemen. That is a proper way of pulling that out. Now, Kristen, do you know why we use that method to pull out the method? Okay, very, very easy. God forbid something were to electrically happen here, right? And the voltage carries through your body. If you're using your left hand, the voltage will come through your arm, across your heart, and down to the ground. You don't want that. So if you put your left hand behind your back and use your right hand to pull, if you were to have an electrical issue here, the power will go through your right arm, down the right side of your body, not the side of your heart. Good. So now that the power is killed, we're going to carefully remove our yellow wire from our single pole contactor, and I'll take the brown wire off there as well. And now we're going to check the windings between both sides with our ohm meter. So one lead on the left, one lead on the right, and we have 15.6 ohms, which is perfect. You want to be in the teens. So anywhere 13 to 19. Yeah. And that's good coil. Now we're going to test the reversing valve coil, and we have 15.5. Perfect. All right, so I removed the made in China dual capacitor, and we're going to see if it passes the shake test. You hear anything?
Maybe a little bit, I'm not sure.
Very little. Just quiet. That is the shake test. And you're going to find this, ladies and gentlemen. Sometimes you test a capacitor and it's fine. But then when you take it out and you shake it, you can hear the liquids moving around inside. Now, some of you may think I'm crazy, but the next time you check a capacitor, doing a tune-up, routine maintenance, whatever you're doing, do we give it a little shake. If you hear the liquid in there, chances are it's dying. It may still test fine, but it's dying. So always give it a shake test. This one passed, surprisingly. All right, next step is we're gonna take the condenser fan motor shroud and fan motor and blade off the top of the unit. We're removing the brown wire off of the dual capacitor that goes to the fan, and then L1, L2 that goes to the condenser fan motor. We're going to remove the entire top of the condenser. That way we can clean the inside of it and give it a good washing. All right, now that the top is off of this condenser, we're going to remove any of this debris that's in here. And if you have a lot of the brushweed in here or leaves, it's a good idea to clean it out. Bottom of our receiver. Okay, acclimator, what do you want to call it? All right, identification purposes, we have our Copeland scroll. No, this is an LG. Interesting. We have our LG compressor. We have a filter dryer. We have a reversing valve. We have a high pressure switch. No,
It should be high pressure.
this is the other one down there is low pressure.
Should,
Looking for any signs of any oil residue, which would be indicative of a leak. We are going to notice that we have this 2-row coil. It's going to be a pain to clean this from inside out. I hate that, but I'm not splitting this coil. So we're going to rinse this bad boy off and then wash from inside out. And the reason for doing that is because when the condenser fan motor is running, it is sucking air from outside in. We're going to move our tools out of the way so nothing gets wet and get shown the road. All right, for coil cleaning today, we're using the new Calgon New Bright. This stuff is acid, so make sure you wear your PPE, hand and eye protection. You get this stuff on your skin, it'll start to burn, you can get it in your eye. Imagine what will happen, so make sure you wear your PPE. We're filling it up halfway, and we're gonna set our coil gun to B, which is a 4-to-1 solution. All right, once we wash from the inside out, we're gonna just give a gentle coating on the outside and use the remaining New Bright chemical on our coil. Now, the trick to using this New Bright is, even though it's acid, you don't want it to remain on that long, but a good 5 to 7 minutes is perfect amount of time. And what works best for me to utilize this time in a most efficient manner is that we are going to remove the canister from the nozzle. We're going to take that canister off. We're going to dump out whatever's remaining in there. We're going to rinse that out with water a few times, and then perfect. Put that back on the floor. I'll put it on the no, take that out. We're going to rinse this out a couple times. Now remember, this stuff is acid. If you do not rinse this container, right, it will be dead tomorrow. I kid you not. So there's one, and it's best to do this somewhere where vegetation doesn't really matter. But if we're going to really dilute this down, I'm not worried about killing any grass here. We're really going to dilute this pretty damn well. So we're going to rinse this out a couple times. We'll do it one more time. And then we are going to run it through the entire assembly to flush out the gun itself. Okay, hook this back up. All right, and now we are just going to go like that. And we're going to use up the entire container of water, and that is fully rinsing out our new Calgon coil gun. All right, so while this is rinsing, you can see that we are about 5/8 done so far. Take a look at the dirt that is coming out of the coil. All right, this is a perfect example that if you're not testing, you're guessing, and if you're not cleaning your coil, it may look clean, but it's probably actually dirty. All right, our coil gun is fully rinsed. Put that off to the side, and now we're going to rinse out our coil, working from inside out. Sucking out our condensate drain line from inside to outside. Best way to clear them out. If you have some real stubborn ones, you can use a gallo gun and blow from inside out. All right, so we finished washing the coil. Now, if we didn't have the condenser bolted down like we do have here, I'm inclined to lift it up a little bit to get the dirt out of the little holes, drain holes from the bottom, but it is what it is. Another thing for future reference, keep in mind, we have a tankless water heater right there. It would be to our benefit to use hot water the next time. It's right there, literally. And you have a lot of water heaters that are installed outside in homes in Florida. And you got hot water right there. You have tankless flush valves. The best way to clean this is with warm water. All right, we have the unit back in service. Christian is taking off the locking service caps. In case you guys didn't know, these locking caps, they're technically a code requirement. Service ports shall be inaccessible to other than those that are qualified and trained to work on the equipment. And that includes use of mechanical caps, locking caps, just like those two right there. So we just finished up a preventative maintenance cleaning on the outdoor unit. We cleaned the condensing coil. We checked our resistance across the contactor coil and the reversing valve coil. We also dynamically tested the dual capacitor, and we also tested it to see if it would pass the shake test, which it did. Right now, we are using the S-Man field piece wireless probes to check our refrigeration temperatures and pressures. All right, let's take a look at our refrigeration pressures and temperatures. The left-hand side, that's going to be our low side or our suction side. We have a 104 PSI reading, using 410A, of course. Liquid side, we're at 203 with a subcooling of 9.6. Now, we are a little bit on the chilly side today, just keeping it real. It's 54 degrees. Not ideal conditions to actually test. However, we're here, we're doing the tune-up, and with the recent heat wave that we've had, I wouldn't call it a heat wave, but unseasonably warm weather. It's been in the 90s, and now all of a sudden I'm here from New York and it's 50 degrees. Of course, I brought the cold temperature with me. Not ideal, but better than seeing tremendously lower than this. So I'm quite confident with that. What we could do, though, if we really wanted to, if we restrict the airflow coming out of the top of the unit, we'll increase our pressures and we'll have a more realistic reading of how it is on a warmer day. All right, and since it is a little bit on the cool side today, we remove the reversing wire from our 24-volt control circuitry. We're flipping over our wireless probes, and then we're going to check our temperatures and pressures in the heating side. You're going to notice that the air coming out of the top of our condensing unit is ice cold. Temperature inside was 72. She's cold. She is definitely cold. 41 degree discharge temperature. With that reversing valve in heat mode, let's see what the temperatures and pressures are on our S-Mans. All right, unlike in New York, we're using the heating check chart, not the superheat or subcooling side. We're using the heating side, and we have the 48 unit, which is 4 tons. We have an indoor dry bulb temperature of around 72 degrees, so we're closer to 70. And if we go to our outdoor temperature of 50-47 for dry or wet, you're going to see that we need to have a low side pressures of 371 and 105, right there in the center of our screen. 371 and 105. And we'll go to the Field Piece app. This has been running for about maybe 7 or 8 minutes. It's climbing up there. We have a liquid side of almost 400 and a suction side of 74. So we're gonna let this sit for 5 more minutes and see where it's at. But as of right now, it appears to be a little low, but let's just see what this final number is in another 5 minutes. A little high on the high side, a little low on the low side. We're gonna let this one be. We'll make note of this for the customer profile and also on the invoice.
Oh yeah, it locks.
They locked us out.
Sorry, it was on auto one.
No, it's okay. All right, we're all done outside. Everything checked out perfectly. So now we're gonna work on the inside.
Okay.
Got a little wet out there, so we'll take our shoes
Oh,
off.
I'm sorry. Thank you.
No, it's okay. Yeah, the vacuum's on. We good? All right. Here is our carrier. 4-ton. It was installed August 7th, 2019 when the house was built. Very nice. Kill power. And take the front cover off. All right, we got the front cover off. Take a look at our controls. Everything looks pretty clean. Heat strips. Our blower motor. It's pretty clean. Evaporator. Inside is nice and clean as well. A little bit of cocky on the wiring harness and the Molex connector, but other than that, our ECM motor. Looking pretty good. Very nice. Safety switch. Clean. All right, I removed the filter access panel, the factory filter access panel. Let's take a look at our evaporator. It's looking pretty clean. Got a little bit of cocky right there, but the evaporator is pretty clean. All right, I like using the new Calgon, the condensate pan treatment tablets. Prevents water overflows, it helps control odors and things like that, but we're gonna take just a handful of them. Try to do it one-handedly. Okay, we'll drop a couple on the right side and on the left, just like that. All right, now we're gonna now test the heat strips. We have our clamp-on meter. And we're gonna fire this bad boy up. All right, get the power back on. And we have it at 18 amps, and ramping up. And we have a wire. Christian, care to explain what you did?
I jumped R to W.
There you go. The red wire and the white wire, R to W. 18.5 amps. Ladies and gentlemen, just finished up this service call, the inaugural residential air conditioning service call for Plumbing and Air by Tom, now known as Pipe Doctor Home Services, Central Florida. It's always nice when you get a tip at the end. It's really, really nice. Yeah. You know, I'm not one to expect it, but a word of advice: if you deliver value and the customer, the client, perceives that you went above and beyond, generally you'll earn yourself tippage. And that's exactly what we did here. Earned ourselves a tip. Awesome. Thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you in the next one. Until next time, be well, God bless, stay safe. Is it me, or do you still hear that dog barking in the background?